More details on that story now. Tuba Vilana is following it for us. So Tuba, the Premier says they're working hard to make sure people get the assistance they need. How's that going?
Yes, that's what the Premier said, Shahan, that since the incident that happened in the province, we understand that there's been 4 tornadoes that have hit different parts of KwaZulu-Natal. The Premier Zikalala said the teams from the disaster management in the province have been on the ground trying to assist the victims. But beside that, the departments such as SASSA, Home Affairs, as well as Human Settlement, they have also been on the ground getting details of the victims so that they will assist them. In places like New Hanover, where we went to today, construction of temporary houses have already begun. Some of the structures have already been completed. So that's part of the assistance that the Premier is talking about. And beside that, Shahan, the Premier today spoke about the estimate of the damage that was caused by these recent floods, where he said it's estimated to just over 500 million.
Department of Human Settlement has appointed service providers to be on standby to supply building material to partially damaged homes and to undertake construction of temporary shelters in the case of total destroyed houses in affected areas. The damage is still being quantified, but we know that the magnitude is vast as it impacts on human settlements, schools, roads, and other infrastructure assets. Those who lost their important documents are being supported through Home Affairs and SASSA. The current estimates of the damage are pointing to over 560 million, but we will know the full details once we receive the full report. We thank the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs for ensuring coordinated responses, and we further appeal to our communities to heed the weather warnings.
All right, Tuba, so tell us about the process of actually assisting people. We know that damages amount to 500 million rand, but how do people rebuild their homes?
So, Shahan, those that had their houses completely destroyed, that's when the Department of Human Settlement had to intervene. We understand that in places like New Hanover, they're still negotiating because apparently the land where that community lives is owned by a private person. So they're still negotiating because it's difficult for government to build proper structures in those areas without the consent from the owner. But beside that, there are other issues that that were also affected. Issues like water in the area. There was also the electricity, as we understand that power lines were also blown away. So those things have also been restored in the area. So now, other things that they are dealing with is the issue of getting documents. There are people that lost even the ID document, the birth certificate. So they are working, the Department of Home Affairs is also assisting those people to ensure that they get those documents. But the Premier is saying that they've collected information, but it's still they're still on the process of verifying those information because some areas the rain is still falling. We understand that even yesterday we got a report that in other areas like Mkhanyakuta in the northern part of KwaZulu-Natal, the rain was still falling. So it's very difficult for the province to have the exact figures for now.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Our reporter Tuba Vilane.